doing all these physicalities, you cannot move your head.
Yeah.
So you're basically like a chicken with its head like you cannot move your head. You're like,
The chicken's body and the head stays in
and the head stays the same, so you kind of look like this.
I've definitely done stuff where they would like,
Yeah,
that was great, but that was off.
Yeah, the engineer was like, can you get back on mic?
Same. So many times it's like, yeah, that was awesome, but you hit the mic stand.
Yeah. Oh my god.
All the time.
The amounts of times I've done that.
Oh yeah.
Or knock something over while doing it.
Great question.
Yeah, thank you so much for your question.
Awesome cosplay.
Also, what you wear in the booth. You know, you can't wear like jingle things, take all your things out, or like nylon. Like,
I basically have a routine because so much of me jingles that like whenever I go into a booth, and it's like the first like 2 minutes of me just like taking things off and then it sounds. Yeah.
Why do you go back to the studio with stuff?
Well, it's not like I'm like putting it on to wear it at the studio. It's just how I'm dressed for the day, you know. And my keys are like this is the real culprit.
Oh, okay.
That's the real. Actually, you know what? Funny enough, the most annoying one is this little. You hear that?
Yeah.
That picks up like crazy.
ASMR.
So I have to flip it around every time that I record or do an investigate.
Question is, if devils were real and you were forced to make a deal with one, but there were not too many consequences, what type of devil would you want to make a deal with? Like, what subject would it be involved with, and therefore what subsequent powers would you want?
I always love this question.
No consequences?
Or minimal, just like you don't have to worry about the consequences, it's just making the deal with the devil.
I would make a deal with the deadline devil. Because 99% of the time, nobody would be thinking about me until it's too late.
Let's say, you know what? For this instance, I'm gonna switch it up from my normal one. Let's say, and this is like, are we saying this is like full time or is this like temporary? Like, how is this? You know, are we allowed to like make other contracts? I just need to know the details. You know? Before I make my final choice. You know, the devil's.
I know for voice actors and for artists, it's hard to take something from a book and just put it on screen. So my question is, what are the particular challenges that you face trying to take a character from a book and then bring it to life on screen?
That's a great question. I think the biggest challenge, I don't want to speak for all of us, but I think in a way this is a universal kind of answer. With something like this, the biggest challenge is the responsibility to all of you, because it is so much bigger than us. You know, it's so beyond us, and it existed before we got to be a part of it. And as someone who read the thing before, you know, we briefly talked about it, but like I read it before the show was even announced. So being a big fan of it, knowing how much it made an impact on other people already and how deeply connected they were to these characters, it's more a sense of feeling the responsibility of not screwing it up to make it as good as we can for you guys, because we always, whatever jobs we get, however big or small or, you know, random the part or show or thing may seem, like we give 1,000% no matter what, because we love what we do. And when you are presented with different characters, you try and find that version of yourself that connects with them. You try and let them show you parts of yourself that you've never kind of even, you know, unlocked necessarily. And with someone like Denji, I had a lot of things that I really understood about him. I mean, I was so disturbingly broke and, you know, living in such a stuck kind of place, but I understood his resilience, and I understood how he could still go out into the world and be so, like a puppy, have this kind of unconditional openness and love and curiosity, and his kind of feral craziness, you know, I just relate to all of that so much, and I felt that he was an incredibly deep and complicated kid.
It was like Oreos and stuff. So I also don't really like the sweets to be too sweet. So I relate to that so much. I would like for the donut itself to be chocolate and also be like a little bit dense and not very sweet. So like almost like a cake, you know? One of those cake donuts. And then we get that Oreo crumble on top of just a thin layer of icing. And
It's like, I love description. I love description.
yeah, I don't want too much frosting. The business is on the bottom. Flavored,
Yeah.
obviously, right?
Stellar
Or
question.
pumpkin. Ooh, it could be a pumpkin flavored.
Or it could not.
Or it could be
Okay, thanks. You're welcome.
Now we're all hungry. I'm hungry now.
Speaking of pochita.
Yes, hi, what's your name and what's your question?
I'm Megan. I know I'm hungry too. Yeah. I was speaking of the cooking video. So yeah, my 8-year-old niece watched that a little mini cooking thing, like how to make a little tiny.
I've seen those. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And yeah, I don't know if I have a question. I know the random questions are too complicated. I know I said it before, but I really want to say happy chainsaw anniversary.
Oh, thank you. Happy
So
1
sweet.
year.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's true, thank you. And yeah, happy anniversary, you guys.
Thank you.
You look awesome, dude. Let's go.
Yes. All right, what's up? What's your name and what's your question?
Oh my God, the teeth moved too. I love it.
Perfect. When he laughs, it's awesome.
Yes.
Voice acting, how do y'all do like action shots, like getting hit or like bleeding out or something?
Oh, the effort stuff.
We get stabbed in real time.
Yeah, we go into the booth with a second person, and we're like, okay, I need this one to be like a good punch right about here, and we just kind of sucker punch. No, it really, I mean, it can be different because working in anime or certain kinds of video games may be different because we call them efforts, and doing efforts for different kinds of projects, it can vary in style and tone and stuff like that depending on what it is that they need from you. But the baseline kind of execution of it is you pick a point on your body that is, I mean, you know, if you're doing it to picture something and you're seeing where the impact is, that's immediately a sense of where the sound needs to come from within yourself. I mean, it is a very physical thing. You know, you're not gonna put yourself in actual pain, but you do want to like allow, like, you know, if you're gonna get hit in the gut, you know, you will, you know, kilt over a little bit, or you'll take those like theoretical hits, and a lot of it is just finding the sound and finding the way to make it convincing. Funny enough, I was watching actually.
You're so eloquent.
Yeah, whereas we're like,
I guess actually, like, the book, actually, I really liked having the manga there first, because Tatsuki Fujimoto, you know, in particular, his art style is so, it seems so simple on the surface, almost sketchy, and yet every single line tells you exactly what is going on in the character's head. Like, you know exactly what they're thinking about every time they look at anything. And so I'm really glad to be under the work of somebody who can communicate with art that effectively. And so that's, I really enjoy that about it.
Now we know why you're going to the 18
I
plus.
like how we all just kind of were waiting. We're like,
Where is this going?
What's that con called? Ichi-con? She's gonna have a blast.
Yeah, Sarah's ready.
she's already
It's already there.
Because Power has a wild personality, so like with that difficulty, like, wow, this is wild on book. How am I gonna do this on audio?
Yeah, I was a little bit afraid of her at first, but I only read like the first book that she was in, and I didn't actually like read anything aside from like.
so that's mine.
Okay, wait. If you can say dick, then surely I can say dildo, right?
Well, what do you guys think? Can she?
This is being transcripted as well, so I'm sure that's on the screen there.
This is where I say you can, but should you?
Just because you can. Yeah, should you?
who is younger than 18 in here?
Don't answer that.
Yeah.
Nobody, great.
One day you'll learn the ways.
Hello, I am Taryn. For my question, I wanted to know if you guys like were mostly self-taught with voice acting, or if you had like lessons or anything along the way.
I never took a voice acting class. I've only done regular theater and like musicals and acting classes in college and also in high school. Voice acting is something I just kind of like learned along the way.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was a theater and opera major in college, but mostly the stuff my experience for voice acting was fan dubs over the internet, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Pretty much, I didn't really take classes, so yeah, it's just
Natural that just
Hung out at the studio. Yeah.
I was also a theater kid. I did tons of that stuff. I made movies with my friends constantly. I've been studying this stuff my whole life, just like a dork. So I didn't take voiceover specific classes, but I did take theater and scene study and improv and all that kind of stuff. And I suggest to anybody who is wanting to do voiceover to actually take in-person theater style acting classes, because you actually do use so much of your body and so much more of the breaking down of the intentions of lines and the deep nerdy character stuff. The more that you can do that, it's like going to the gym. I kind of look at acting classes like you're training. You know, if you want to be an athlete, you wouldn't just do like the bare bones stuff. If you want to play baseball, you'd be running and this and that, whatever, but that you'd also be working on very particular things. And that's the kind of thing that acting class does, is it dials you in. It makes you more comfortable with being vulnerable, because that is what the job is. And doing that in front of total strangers a lot of the time can be extra difficult. So the more that you can put yourself in that environment to feel more comfortable with being able to express yourself, it's the best way to put your foot forward and just embrace it.
Not only that,